Hey guys, it's Courtney and I'm back with another video for Scrapping for Less. Today I'm using pieces of the latest card kit as well as a die from Cardabella called Ticket Die. I started off with the die and I used my wire snips to just separate that star. I'll use that for another project. I went ahead and die cut this from the yellow card stock from the kit as well as a piece of Nina Solar White. And I started off with that rectangle from the inside of the die, and I'll be stamping my images, these little chicks from the Barnyard stamp set by Avery Elle, using Lawn Fawn's jet black ink. I wanted to make it look like these chicks were stacked on top of one another, so I started with the top chick and then worked my way down. I cut out masks using full stick post-it notes, and I just really worried about the bottom of the chicks. I didn't really care too much about the top just because they would be kind of overlaying each other. Once my chicks were stamped out, I went ahead and moved on to the Copic coloring. I kept the coloring pretty simple and colored them all the same. I'm using 4 yellows. I'm using my Y000, my Y02, my Y08, and my Y19. And again, like always, I start off with my lightest color just to map out where my darkest areas and where my shadows will be. I'm using a center light source here, and I just created shadows where the other chick was laying on top of the one below it, as well as each side. For the little beaks and the feet of the chicks, I just used my YR16. These are really tiny areas. I didn't do any shading. I just kept it with that one color. When I had removed that cap, there was a little splatter on that little panel. So I took my colorless blender and tried to get that out and put that aside. Next, I adhered my pattern paper, which is cut down to 4 by 5 1/4, and I adhered that to a yellow panel, which is cut just slightly larger than that. Then I went ahead and took that panel and adhered that down. It didn't really take out that speck of that orange, so I just took a white gel pen to cover that up. For the frame itself, I went ahead and decided to pop this up. So I used some Scotch foam tape and cut this down to little tiny pieces and adhered that onto my card panel. Next, I took that scrap piece of yellow cardstock that I had left over from the die cutting, and I'll be stamping my sentiment from that same stamp set using Hero Arts Stonewash ink. Once that was stamped out, I took my paper trimmer and just cut that into a strip and cut the one side with my scissors at a diagonal. I use that same Scotch foam tape to go ahead and pop that underneath my little chicks. To add a little bit more dimension, once my sentiment was popped on there, I use Nouveau Crystal Drops in the color Dandelion Yellow and just put 3 dots in each top corner. It seemed to be a little thick. If you ever have that, just immediately wipe that up and go ahead and just put another dot on there. It will end up settling down. Once that was dry, I went ahead and popped that onto a white A2 card base, and that's it for today. Thanks so much for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day.